Hello everyone. If you're watching this video, you want to know how I actually made all of this, the whole English project that I made, which for those of you who aren't in my class, if you're wondering, or if you are in my class but you don't know, I got a 110 out of 105 in this project, which I'm really glad I did because as I said, I spent 18 hours and that was just making the movies. The rest of the stuff behind the scenes, well, not all of the behind the scenes things, but most of them, well, some of them, I guess. I didn't include in those 18 hours time frame, I guess, because I just didn't feel like I had to. But it would have been like 19 hours, 20 anyway, if I did include those that time that I did spend extra. So today I'm gonna show you how I made it, and I'm gonna try and divide it into sections. So if you scroll through the what's it called, the thing where you like can skip through the video, it should tell you different parts of the video, but I don't know if I'll actually do that because it takes a while to do. But either way, let's just go ahead and get started with the basic stuff, and then we'll go over to the more complicated stuff, I guess. So I'm gonna start with this. The first thing where I was just right there, where like at the end and start of every video shows you this. As you can see, I tried to put everything in here. These two aren't really noticeable in the videos, but I have the raven or the chicken, I guess, in here. I actually have right here this thing. It teleports the chicken there, so if it wasn't for that, that wouldn't be there. And as you can see, I didn't really do much to decorate since you won't really see that or that in the video. And same thing for the pit and the pendulum. I wanted it to look dark here, and then the floor is like you don't really see it and stuff. And then I guess I made it on like a little table. That's what I tried to do, but then I was like, I don't really like this table. But I didn't really like that it looks like a table, but at the same time, if I put it a block lower, then you wouldn't really see the silverfish and stuff. I also have another villager there sleeping, and here I have the Mask of the Red Death. I also have another command block teleporting the skeleton there, and obviously you can't see the back because why would I do that? You know I was gonna see it. Here's Alone. It's almost the same thing as the Alone story, which I actually made over there. And same thing with Annabelle Lee, I made right over there. So they're actually pretty close to where this was. And yeah, so this is Annabelle Lee right here. And if you actually search up those dates on Google or whatever, you'll see that it is Edgar Allan Poe's uh, wife's birth and death date because I actually wanted to make it like a cool reference, I guess, to since the story is about Allan Poe's wife. And same thing with Annabelle Lee over there, but I'll show that later. Anyway, that's pretty much all for over here. Apart from that, you can't really see that either, so I didn't really finish the wall there. Let me get a bit closer so you can see that. Um, but yeah, you can't really see that because you can't really see that from over here either way. And so, yeah. Anyway, let's get to how these buttons pressing actually works. So they all pretty much do the same thing. So pretty much the first command, it gives a tag, which, uh, just if you want, you can search up what a tag does, but it's pretty much like you put it and you get classified into a group, and then like certain commands you can set it so if someone's in that specific group it'll do something to them and not anyone else. That's pretty much like basic explanation of it. They all have it. I pretty much just made it like the shorter version of the names. Oh, and also I did add the dates of when they were made. Can't find the like exact month of the pin pendulum, but that's fine. And then this one, 1829 was when it was made, and September 1875 was when it was released, or at least that's what Google says. And then, but besides the point, these commands, the green ones, they all do the same thing. They all just teleport you up there. I'll explain what's up there in a bit. But you also can't see this in the video, but I had this for quick and easy transportation here to go from down here to up there, and then again up there to down here. And I have a couple things down here. Like, that doesn't really matter. Not important. But, and, here I have like name tags I used for the stories, which I'll explain why I use them later on. And then this one, I don't remember where this one teleports to. Is this? Yeah, this one is to there because, I mean, why not? This one is the one that brings you up. So those green commands down there, they actually teleport you inside this black box right here. And these, whenever you see these in the video, they just mean a ticking area, which pretty much it's like it makes the area load, so it's always loaded. So, you know, because that way, if I didn't have them, it wouldn't work because it can't, because these command blocks right here, those specifically, or maybe those, I'm not sure, I don't remember. They place a block thousands of blocks away because of how I made it. Um, and so if those didn't exist, they wouldn't go there. That I made just to see the orientation of how that would go if I cloned it over to the pendulum. It's the same thing, except it's in the sky randomly. Don't worry about that. And then over there, that's Annabelle Lee, and I don't know if we have something from Alone over there. I don't think so. But yeah, basically, when you got up here, and actually let me show you this real quick. It teleports you back down. Not that important. But basically, um, whenever you get teleported into here, the tag that it gives you down there, it actually detects which one you have. These command blocks right here. And then, so for example, if you chose Annabelle Lee, this would activate and it would give you the title, the thunder sound, would make you invisible for a bit. I don't remember exactly what I did that for. Oh yeah, I remember now. I'm stupid. And then these commands, after a little bit, this one would teleport you, this one would place a block, and then this one would clone something. I don't remember what it was, but it was something. And same thing with the other ones. And these command blocks actually teleport you right to where it starts. So like for example, the chicken, like if I go into it, it teleports you right to where the story starts if you remember the video. And then this is what it actually looks like, the whole room. Um I kind of actually looked at the Homer the Simpson video to see like just to make it a little closer to that because I thought it was like pretty accurate to the story and you know, I thought it would be a good idea. Same thing with the angel that popped up here. It was like a reference to that, I guess, even though it also happened in the story, I guess, but like, you know. And then the hallway, it's pretty long. It didn't actually take me that long. Um, that's there just because, well, never mind, you can't actually see it. I thought you could, but just to make it look like there's another side over here. And then these are the windows. Can't really see anything outside, but this isn't too long, you know, and it didn't take me that long to make either. This is what took me really long. I mean, just this by itself took me like 20-30 minutes, just because as you know, like this window opens. I didn't want it to just be nothing since it would have basically looked just like that if I didn't do that. So yeah, and since it was a December night in the story, I made it snowy because December, snow, you know. Then the chicken, it starts from over here, and actually the way it follows the path when it enters is this. So this, the reason it has a name, TCAS, I mean, it stands for the chicken armor stand. Basically the chicken, it like, it detects where this is, and it teleports itself like 7 blocks up. And then this, it moves the same way the chicken did. So that's on top of the thing in the door, and then this is like where it starts. The commands are over here somewhere. I don't remember exactly where though. Might be these. Yeah, these commands right here. As you can see, if you look, it says TCAS and whatever. That's it teleporting right there. And then when it's running around the room, same thing. Like flying, I mean, same thing. It just teleports like this. It teleports from there to there and then to there and then you know around. And at the end, when the villagers like freaking out, screaming and whatnot, the way I made that is actually pretty funny. If you know, then pretty much creepers are scared of cats. So I just put a bunch of cats and I made a creeper called Mad. So that same thing with the chicken, it could teleport blocks up. And the reason I have a chair here is because sometimes it likes to jump over the chair. And so if I didn't add the chair, the villager would just phase through the chair when it happened. So that's why I added that. And this makes the creeper a little bit faster, and then here's the villager. Madville, mad villager, mad, you know. Anyway, besides the point, what else? This was for the beginning of I think this is what cloned, or the command I showed earlier that I didn't know what to do. It clones that to there, so because every time it opens the window, it clones that to there, and then at the end, it clones that to there, you know, which I don't know where I put those command blocks, but doesn't really matter. And then this block right here, this is what places, it actually places this block right here, which activates all of the redstone. Same thing with every story. And then this right here is to go back, but besides the point, um, I didn't want the chicken to actually lay eggs around the place, because that wouldn't really uh be cool, I guess. So I added that to kill all the eggs that spawn or get pooped off by the, I don't even remember what it's called, but you know what? That's what we're calling it now. And the part where you can hear the heartbeats, they're actually not heartbeats. They're block.click, which I think it's like when a dispenser throws a block, but I'm not entirely sure. I don't actually remember. You can search it up if you want. And yeah, you can see those like towers of commands. Pretty much when this when for example when this gets executed, this goes next. If it was both orange, then this one, well, this one would, because the line is going right through it to that one as well. But like this one, for example, if it was orange as well, it wouldn't activate. So that's why they're green, specifically chain conditional and always active. And as you can see, some of them have a delay and ticks, which is the reason why that everything doesn't happen immediately. The reason why he doesn't like say something and then right after he says something again. And yeah, some of them are really quick. Some of them actually take longer. Let me see if I can find one that's like way longer. Uh I can't really find one right now, but we do have a couple of 200s around the place. Oh, 120 right there. 120, 180. Longest one we've found so far. Um, then basically when the block places there, it obviously it activates everything, but I have to remember to add another command to remove the block so that if anyone later wanted to watch it again, they wouldn't have to, like, if they actually wanted to play the game instead of watching the YouTube videos, it would actually work. So most of the time it's the block up at the top. Sometimes it might as well just be this one, which in this case it is this one. But for some of them, the block right on top is the one that does it. And I don't remember what this was. Oh yeah, this is what teleported the spirit, or the angel, I guess. I called it spirit because, well, I don't know why I called it spirit, but I did. And I don't know if there's really that much else I can show you apart from this. When the story ends, this is what it shows you. You go back into that black box. It detects you're there. Let me see if I can get close without activating it. And then it does some behind the scenes stuff, like, for example, this one, I don't remember what it does. But then this one teleports the chicken back over there so that the chicken isn't just walking around in there when you restart the story. This one teleports the villager down there where it was when we saw it earlier. This one, oh, that's the one that clones the window, the purple window thing. And then this one is teleports the armor stand down there. And then this shows you the name of the story, the thunder. And then most of you didn't see this, but at the bottom, like especially if you were far, like in person watching the project, you could see on the bottom like this, which would show you approximately how much time it took me. So this one was the longest, taking me around 7 hours of work. Something like that, more or less like an hour or so. I'm not entirely sure. I don't, I wasn't actually like paying attention to the exact timing up until the pit and the pendulum. Wait, until the Mask of the Red Death. I mean, I wasn't actually paying attention to the time. So yeah, this just teleports you back, which pretty simple. And yeah, that's pretty much all of the chicken, I guess. There's not really that much else to show. Um, I don't remember what these do. Well, I do know what these do. If you were wondering what these do, I can show that real quick. Um, this might be useful for some of you who actually play the game. So let me just do that real quick. It makes that, which pretty much keeps it activated for a while. And the longer it is, the longer that while is. So if I do that, it'll go away pretty quick. So that's why I did that. I did that for a couple of the stories, actually. I didn't do it for only the chicken. I think I did that for the Pit and the Pendulum too. I'm not entirely sure though. This one though, it I didn't really like have to do many behind the scenes things because everything was like there in front of you, I guess. But Pit and the Pendulum was the one that took me like a couple behind the scenes thing, like the pit swinging and like when the walls come in and stuff. That's what I mean about like things behind the scenes. Then these might seem a little off, but they actually do something. These get cloned into there. So whenever you hear the door open and close, that's actually a command block that does it. It's not the door actually closing and opening because I don't know if you can actually do that. I don't think so, unless you have like an invisible villager that does it. And besides, that would be impossible to do. It wouldn't, but it would take long and not work half the time. So you just make a door that places itself there in these orientations, and you put a command that makes the door opening and closing sound, which is also why they sound so weird, I guess. I mean, I made it like that on purpose because it sounded more ominous in my opinion, which is kind of the theme what I was going for in most of these, because obviously Edgar Allan Poe. And that's down there, that's the testing I was doing first, because I wanted, instead of making a armor stand, do the moving chicken, I wanted to make a minecart. The problem with that though was that even all the way down there, you could hear the minecart moving while you were up here. And so I was like, wow, that's actually crazy. How does that even happen? But yeah, I just made that instead and it worked flawlessly. Also, um I didn't want oh, that was a cat. Since I didn't want like how do I explain this? Since basically when you went into the view where you were looking at the villagers screaming and moving around and stuff, since you were standing there and then you go to the view looking at the villager, I didn't want it to like you finished there like and like when you went there, you finished there and then it was all the way over there. So whenever you moved over there, the creeper would actually teleport over here. So it would look like it just went insane right where you were instead of like being insane over here when you were over there. If that made sense to any one of you, I have no clue if that actually made sense. But, you know, that's the chicken. So, this one again took me the longest and somehow I mean it was the first one that I did, so it makes sense that it would be the one to take me the longest. And yeah, let's go to Annabelle Lee then, the second one. And so actually, fun fact, they're all here in the order that I made them. The chicken, then Annabelle Lee, the pit and the pendulum, the mask of red death, and then alone. Also the same order that I made the YouTube videos in which I released them. Basically everything about the stories is in order of the first one I released to the last one. Pretty much everything. Even how I uploaded them on Google Classroom. So yeah. Um, you know, I wanted before though, it wasn't though. This wasn't in this order. I think the Mask of Red Death was here, and the chicken I think it was here, and then yeah. But it doesn't really matter anymore. Also, Alone, I was originally gonna do the Telltale Heart, but I decided not to because I knew it would take me a long time, and I wanted to make something that wouldn't take me too long since I had already spent like 17 to 18 hours at that point on the whole thing. And I thought it would make sense since it's like, first off, it's the last one that I made, the last one that I showed, the last one in the order of things. And it also like kind of represents Edgar Allan Poe's childhood, which kind of stood out to me in that sense because, you know, in that sense, it's just important more than all the other ones. Can you shut up, bro? Anyway, Annabelle Lee. I am getting too sidetracked. Annabelle Lee right here. Teleports you right to where you see the things. I also made the same thing over here, even though you can't really see it in the video. So I made the same thing over here where like it would show you the dates. I put this bed here hoping that the villager would sleep on it in the video. He never did. So that it would look like he was laying next to the scope pusher thing. But at the end of the video, but it didn't happen. Not even when I tested it, so I was like, well, not really much I can do. Because he just doesn't sleep in time. Like, I tested it out and it just doesn't. And I didn't want to place the bed before because it would be like, why did that bed just randomly pop up? You know? Besides the point, um, these have nothing behind them. Same with the ones all the way over there. And if you look up here, you can actually see same thing. You wouldn't ever see this in your life before unless I'm actually showing you, which I am. So I make that so you can see like an actual kingdom, I guess. And then the walls, you can obviously see them since you're farther up. You know, you can see like the walls a little bit, and then you can see that a little bit. I don't know exactly where it was because I have an invisible barrier block here. Uh, right here. So, oh wow, never mind. You can only see the top of whatever. Why am I overcomplicating things? And then the way I went up there to do the Amboli things is I put command blocks down here. This one teleports you up. This one just teleports you back. So if I just do that, teleports you back here. So I go over here and go into this one, teleports you up here. This one just teleports you down. Nope, it teleports you back. Alright, never mind. That one teleports you back. And then basically, to place that, I basically cloned the whole thing. It's not a chunk, but it is pretty big. I also had to place blocks around it because there's sand on top of it, so it would fall down when I was testing it. And I had to basically clone it because I wanted to make it work, I guess. You have the test command blocks. These are the coordinates from where it would take it to where it would paste it. Then the box where it would tell you like finish the story. And this one, it didn't take me long because all I had to do was copy the text down and paste it. Actually, I couldn't do that because it would glitch. So I had to retype everything by hand. Here I have the guy, I called him, and then Annabelle Lee, I called her. These are also the same command blocks. I don't know why they're down here. Or actually, they're a little bit different, but you know, same thing overall. I have these to help me speed up the process. Basically, what this would do, it would be like typing in the chat, but it wouldn't show this, you know? It would show something else. Um, like, I mean, it would show just the text. It wouldn't show this, you know? And then, this was when it, like, if you guys recall, because it was like a split second, we would be teleported into this box and there would be a lightning strike, and then you would go back down, and that's when the grave would appear, the sepulchre, whatever, you know, would appear. That's what made it happen, and yeah, that's pretty much all of Annabelle Lee. Again, it only took me like an hour, and look how little I made. And I mean, that was all an hour, you know? It was basically like 80% of the stories are just like typing stuff in. You have to make all these by myself. Uh, anyway, next story. I don't remember which one it was because my brain is not working well right now. That's besides the point. Next story, The Pit and the Pendulum. That one was the second longest that took me. Right here, Pit and Pendulum. It teleports you to the chair, not over there. I made these guys by hand myself. These are Spanish inquisitors, I guess, if that's what you call them. These are like peasants, I guess. There's like a court, if you can tell. And then these are the guys right here. I had to make two armor stands so that it could actually like, oh, please, please, all right. So you know, so you could actually like see the faces and the armor at the same time. I had something back here before, but not anymore. I made these shaped as crosses since it is the Spanish Inquisition. And I also had to make that a little bit, but I planned on making it lower so you could see all of that, but then at the same time, the inside of the thing wouldn't look too good. So basically, like from that line right there to my bad, to over there, it's pretty much unimportant. And then I have this guy over here. That was the guy that came in and took the guy that like got punished. This is the guy that came in and took him. Um, I have him a bed here and a job because if I didn't, he would just take that guy's job, that's the guy that got punished. He would take that guy's job in bed, and that would mean he couldn't sleep when he got into the pendulum, which is I think that room right there. Um, and so yeah, same thing here with the doors from earlier. I had to do that. I don't remember what this was for. Oh yeah, yeah. This is basically if you type set block uh spruce door and then you type 1, it would place it just like that, and then 5, it would place it just like that. Let me throw that away. I don't know why it does that. Same thing here to speed up the process. I did that. This brings you back. I don't remember what this one does. Wait, which one brings you back? I don't remember. Doesn't really matter. Either way. Um, yeah, that's the escapee. That's what I called him. This is the guy that just grabs the hand. I just called it rescue, and I got way too close. I am my bad. Well, I mean, you saw how it worked, I guess. Um, but if you look over here, this one took me 5 hours. I didn't show anybody. I'll show it in a little bit. And basically, this is where it starts. These two command blocks right here, they don't really need the block, but because they're repeat and always active, unconditional. They just make it so they won't die, pretty much, because, if they died, it wouldn't really be good for my project. And so, basically, this is the part where they are walking, like, this is when he's walking in, that guy over there, to grab him, and then these ones are when he grabs him and takes him out of the door. And so then what this does is it teleports you, and then places the block over here. And so this is the first room. I have a barrier block right here, so you could stand on it and look at everything while it was happening. And then I have barrier blocks here, so the villager wouldn't actually fall onto it when I teleported it like right here. I didn't want it to actually fall in because it would look pretty funny. And then if you did notice, this room is actually smaller than this one, which is the exact same room except this one is bigger. But it's representing how he didn't notice the size until he went into the you know until there was light. This is the food, this is the bed where he's laying down. I made it a bed because obviously I can't make it a block. And this is a light. These are the rats. Didn't place them in the room below because I just didn't think it would really matter. And this is the pendulum right here. This one was actually like one of the easiest things to do. It only took me like 10 minutes just because I had to get all the coordinates right, and I had to make the timing right so it wouldn't like go like that, and it would look like how it's going. See how it's not like immediately or like, yeah. Anyways, pretty simple. Damn. This is what actually makes it work right here. As you can see, some of them are different delays. And so this is what it clones from. I have every coordinate here. Like, so this is this is that, so on and so forth. That's how it actually clones it. I actually got this one wrong. My bad, but you can't really see it that well, so it doesn't really matter. But for those of you who were wondering how it looked completely, that's what it looks like completely. You know, because in the video you can only like really see like from that point down. And then when I got here, this is when the villagers walking around the room to see like the size of it and scope it all out. And then same thing with like almost falling into the pit. And then uh after that it goes into here. This one was the longest um redstone line or command line that took me, I guess. Because there's just a lot happening here, but um I don't remember exactly what it does at the moment. Over here sets this into air. And then if I look into one of these, it might actually say that it's placing air. Oh, right there. See how it's placing air? So if I go into those coordinates, which, oh crap, I don't remember. It might be this, I don't know. It changes this from being a redstone block to air, that block to air, so that the redstone would stop. Then again, I don't remember what this one was. Oh yeah, this was when the villager was sleeping, I think. And then this one was like when he was looking around the room. It wasn't really that noticeable, but I made it so he would be looking around the room. But he's always looking at me for some reason. This guy is a weirdo. Um, and so yeah, this is when he's like looking around the room. If I can show you here, it's all the same command, except if you look at the last three numbers, they're all different faces, like facing, like he's different, facing a different place, you know, different coordinate. Then this was the wall closing in. If you notice in the video, I made it so that it would only do these two walls and these two things. I was originally planning on doing this, but it would kind of break the pendulum a bit. And like, I mean, the pendulum would break the wall, I guess. And you wouldn't really see this, and if I made this, then I would have to push the player forward and it wouldn't look good. So I did that, and it also took me a little bit longer than anticipated because I had the barriers, and I didn't want it to place those, and then once the story ended, to just go back to like that, so that the so that if you rewatch the story, you want to see the silverfish just walking across there like that. Let me kill it while I'm at it, because you know, it doesn't really matter, but still. I also have this barrier block box right here, barrier block box. The reason was because I always wanted some of the quote unquote rats to be close to the bed, so it wouldn't look like so you know, because if for some reason all the quote unquote rats were over here, and then he would get untied, you'd be like, what? So yeah. Also had the workstation down here so we could actually sleep. Um and I also planned on making the same thing with the creeper that I did on with with the chicken. I originally planned on doing that too, but since I placed this guy over here before I placed the bed and the workstation over here, I placed this guy before, and so the cats would see that as a village, so they would go toward it and they would all huddle up in a corner. So I realized I couldn't do that, so that's why I only made it so that he's looking around. Although you can't really see it. Big downside, but better than you know, him not actually sleeping or like laying down on the thing he was stuck in. Um I'm just looking at the azalea trees because there's a couple over here. Doesn't really matter though. Also, if you for some reason want this seed, which random, I guess, but if you want the seed, that's the seed. Um And so, you know, walking around, also walking around. This was when you were teleported from there to there. There would be like a little intermission. It would bring you into this box, and then it would bring you there. Um, that's pretty much the pit and the pendulum. I think that's all of it. I might have missed some details, but mostly that was the important things of it. Let me actually show these two because, yeah, this one teleports you to here. So as I said, you can't really see much of it from here because first off, you're facing down, and second off, you're pretty high. So if you were like that, well, it's actually kind of perfect. Actually, never mind then. It's actually kind of perfect. Hmm. I'm surprised it is perfect. But yeah, that's what that one does. This one, it just brings you back. So let me show the Annabelle Lee thing while I'm at it, actually. Um, up here somewhere. Right. Ooh, don't get too close. Right here. This was like an hour and a half of work, which again, a lot of time. Uh, After that, I did Mask of the Red Death. This one, I noticed a mistake while I was finishing it, and I mean, not as I finished it, as I uploaded the YouTube video, I noticed that I forgot completely the right side of this, and I was like, "Oh, come on." But I was a little too lazy to fix it, and I was like, "Well, I mean, no one's really looking at the right side, are they?" So, if you notice that when watching it, congratulations, I guess. Comment it if you want. I don't care if you do or you don't. But if you didn't, then yeah, my plan, it worked. So, I still have a 110 out of 105, so joke's on you. Haha, I don't know. This was originally my plan for the room, but it was too small, first of all. And couldn't really see that much. So I didn't go for this. And like if we were like this, it would be too cramped, you know? So I gave up halfway. And it did say it was like random turns, so I did that. You could tell what was going on there. It was, I tried doing that. I also there's a little bit of pink there, but that's also another reason why I didn't go into this. And hence why I went into this. The the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Oh, I actually made 7. I thought I made 6 originally, but I made 7. So I'm glad I made 7. This is the room itself completely. I made some tables with bread and cake and soup. All random as it said in the video, I think. The video I watched of like the summary. And then this is the clock in the black room. I should have made this wall black, but I didn't for some reason. And the ceiling also made it out of black concrete, which I don't know why I did, but I did. And these doors, you don't really see them opening or closing. And the reason they have this block right here is because if I didn't, then you could see light go through, which I didn't want that happening. So obviously I didn't let it happen. And this one, I came into a strategy when I made this one so that instead of all the blocks being unorganized and like all the command lines, I mean, unorganized all over the place like they were on the other ones, this was the first one. It would clear it. This one will clear that, place that there, and then same thing with all of them. That's how it worked. And again, these are all mostly just talking, the narrator or the prince or whatever. Some of these are teleports, as you can see, they're teleporting the prince. Some of them are placing blocks. And then if I can find the text one, here it is, text ones. Now oh man, I am so sorry. Now let the party unfinish, if you remember that from the video. This is the prince right here. These are some name tags. I have these all over, but so I could have them. Actually, I know, I think it's just this one. I named the skeleton Death. He's over. Oh wait, no. Where did I put this? Oh, right here. Skeleton right here. I have him holding a hoe. If you actually want to learn how to make that, do that. I mean, replicate it yourself. Let me just grab a zombie to demonstrate that here. Whenever I can find it. I give up. Zombie. That's a zombie horse. That's a zombie. Alright, so if you want to recreate that. Oh wow, that's alright, that's cool. You want to recreate that? Actually, what you do is you type in this command. Ooh, don't misspell it. Entity at e um at e make it um you can do a couple things here, but just do type equals whatever the mob is. So in this case, it's a zombie, and then make it r equals, you can make a 7 depending on how close you are. It's basically the radius of how close you are to it. And the reason we're doing this is obviously you don't want every villager to have it unless you actually do for some reason, then make it just not have that and just close it off like that. But if you just want the closest villager to you, zombie I mean, make it 7. And if there's a couple zombies and you only want to make the closest one, do C, and it'll do the closest one to you in that radius instead of all the ones that are in that radius. So yeah, just a little command block lesson or command lesson, same thing. And then you want to do slot dot weapon dot main hand. You can do offhand if you want, but I did main hand so that it would be on, the main hand. Then slot ID, you just type 1 or 0. I don't remember. I think it's 0. And then you can type in whatever, literally whatever. Here, if I type an arrow, it'll have an arrow. If I type uh an apple, we'll have an apple. Obviously we want to do an iron hoe, so iron hoe, there you go, and now it has an iron hoe. Now you can, wow, combo. Now you can just kill it, and that's it. This was to look outside. Yeah, I made a little walk there for some reason. It didn't really matter that I did it or not, but I still did it. And then, I mean, that was when he was walking out the door. I don't know if you guys noticed that, but like toward the end of the story, the mini movie, he was walking out of the door. This is that, and this teleports you there. Um, this one is actually not that hard to explain like the other ones, because it's mainly just these pillars are just talking, walking, and teleporting. So, well, as in walking the villagers, teleporting the villagers, that's how they walk, I guess. How they move around. Then talking, I mean, yeah, I explained that earlier. And then the teleporting, either teleporting the villagers to walk or to teleport you to look somewhere else, or just teleport you somewhere else overall. So these are just pretty easy to explain, and it's pretty much the same thing with all the pillars and the other ones. They might have a couple details inside of them, like some of the things that like I haven't explained yet, and they are in the videos. And these, I don't actually remember what these are for. Oh yeah, these make it so that the villagers won't actually die, and so that they can't move. I made them slow, so slow that they don't move basically at all. And then the instant health ones, if you type it like that, the 9999 is the amount of seconds. If you just type 2 or more in a command block and you type 255 in a repeat unconditional always active, so it's always happening, like that. If this is either 2 or higher, and then this one doesn't really matter, I think, but I just make it 255. And then true won't show the particles. Basically, this one's the prince, so it's one of these commands right here. Same thing though, it's just change the PG4 to prince if you're gonna name the villager, and then you literally cannot hit the villager. The only way you can kill it is with slash kill, not even with a sword. And toward the end of the story, all the villagers teleport here, apart from Prince. I teleported him over there. These guys though, they are all here, and because they're slow, they won't push each other away. They're not actually getting teleported in there. If I do that, they all move around. So yeah. And then Death, or I guess the Red Death is here. And yeah, that's the Mask of the Red Death. And now finally we can show you alone, which is this one right here. A alone. Show what D stands for. I mean, it's pretty obvious. Then the pendulum, the chicken, Annabelle Lee, Mask of the Red Death, or Mask of Red Death, and alone. And so oh yeah, originally I was planning on just having that, but I found it too small and too far from the shore, and I wanted to make it over here, so like where you look. So yeah, that didn't really work out, so that's why I made the big version of the castle. And then alone, as I said, finally. This one, I only really made that because toward the end of everything, I got a little lazy, and so I didn't want to make another scene, move these guys, and make a building. I didn't want to do all that. So I just made this. Same story here with the command blocks. There's some in the water. Oh, I found one. This one teleports you up, and then I don't remember what the other one was. Oh man, that's not good because I need to see that command block. Um, oh man. Um, you know what? That's fine. That's fine. Uh, oh, oh yeah, I didn't make it that far up. Um, this one, it was literally so short. It only took me 16 minutes. Like, if I show you here, 16 minutes of work. Real simple, you know? This one, it was the shortest one out of all of them. I didn't feel like working another hour on this, and, oh, wait, oh god, I'm lost. Oh yeah, alright. And yeah, I also didn't show Muscular Death, like how long it took. Or what the? Oh yeah, that's the zombie I killed earlier. Um, if I go over here, it shows me approximately 4 hours of work, and then I also didn't show Pit in the Pendulum, I think. So this one, if I, damn, if I go, if I go over here, over here somewhere. Right here, 5 hours-ish of work. Some of them might have taken me less, some of them might have taken me more. I don't know. I'm not entirely sure. But yeah, that's pretty much everything. The coordinates to where Pin and the Pendulum are, if you do want to play the seed for some reason, those are the coordinates for the chicken. Those are the coordinates for Annabelle Lee. These are the coordinates for Masculine Red Death. These are the coordinates for Alone. And then the coordinates for just here are, well, not that clearly. Also not that clearly, but that, since I don't actually have coordinates turned on because I'm too lazy to do that. And so, yeah, this only really took me like 10 minutes total to make. It wasn't really that hard. I mean, what's hard to make this, you know? Um, this took me like a minute or two. Also took me a minute or two. This one actually took me, apart from that, was the longest one it took me. It only took me like 15 minutes because I wanted to make it detailed, I guess. Then this one took me like 10 minutes. This one took, actually this one took me like 20 because this was like, apart from the castle, which was really easy, but still took me long because obviously. This one took me like 20 to 30 minutes because I was like figuring out how to do it and how to make it not look bad from afar. So this one took me pretty long. Um, Same thing over here. Nothing behind it. There used to be two security guards here going through the here, but I changed that since I changed it from Telltale Heart to Alone. And yeah, I mean that's pretty much it, I think. I'm not entirely sure. But yeah, if you for some reason want to play this and actually see it for yourself in person, I'm going to make a download in the description of the video if I remember to do that, probably. So yeah, I guess I'll do that, but since that's pretty much it, I'm just gonna end the video right here. So yeah, thank you for watching, and yeah.